Did you know that Canelo Alvarez once faced a match that nearly ended his entire career? His opponent accused Canelo of being an overhyped boxer and openly expressed his desire to expose him to the world. According to this rival, Canelo didn't deserve the professional record he held at the time, much less the money he earned to step into the honored boxing ring. He went so far as to call him a mama's boy, confident it would be child's play to knock Canelo down, but he couldn't have been more wrong. Welcome! In today's video, you'll witness an epic clash between a titan and a trash talker. Who's who? Stay tuned to find out. Content. In the world of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez has made his mark by taking on some of the most formidable opponents of recent times, including well-known names like Gennady Golovkin, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Dmitry Bivol. In each of these bouts, Canelo demonstrated his skill and aptitude for combat on a global stage. However, when Canelo was fighting for his life in the ring, Erislandy Lara seemed to take a nap. This often overlooked Cuban opponent nearly gave Canelo his worst nightmare back in 2014, a brutal defeat. To this day, the showdown between these two forces remains a topic of controversy. Canelo's first major defeat came when he faced Floyd Mayweather, who delivered a masterclass in defense and counterattacks.
Doing his best to do just that, but Alvarez and sticks a shot to the body. Welterweight division facing Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, in fact, he jabbed in two different places to try and land.
And then sets it up for a straight right hand. There's a right hand that jacked the lead left hook around the guard. The right hand blocked by Canelo, but not a big puncher.
This loss had a lasting impact on Canelo's career, teaching him that brute strength is not the only essential component of victory. Although it was undoubtedly a humbling experience, it served as a turning point. From then on, every time Canelo entered the ring, his offense showed greater intelligence and caution. This strategic evolution soon paid off, allowing him to defeat notable opponents. Austin Trout, a master of fighting at a distance, became one of his early victims.
All he said, some are not getting there, but Trout.
Often the case when you have a conventional fighter, and there is Canelo dropping Trout with it as Trout comes behind the guard with the 12th and final round here in Texas. Title unification fight.
Corner of Austin Trout that they read it directly.
Alfredo Angulo, an unrelenting fighter who kept coming forward despite the hits he took, was another significant test for the Mexican star, and he passed with flying colors.
And as we look at this, the fight in microcosm, really, it's that he's throwing
another jab and another one.
In combinations, and Canelo has not really been able to do it as effectively. The jab.
Canelo's got to move his hands just like that. Every time Floyd gets the ropes.
Combination, but we've seen creative ones like the uppercut and the left hook there from Floyd Mayweather. He has spent most of this fight.
But when Erislandy Lara came along, a fighter entirely unlike Canelo, his reputation was once again called into question. Lara was known for being a shrewd, quick, and dangerous boxer. Everything a fighter who relies on strength and precision, like Canelo, would dread. With a record of 19 wins, 12 by knockout, and only one loss, it was clear that Lara was not an opponent to be taken lightly. Lara had previously defeated Trout and Angulo with ease, according to many experts, and he was as relentless in the ring as he was outspoken in his statements. The Cuban fighter played up his Caribbean charm to openly mock Canelo. To him, the Mexican was nothing but an empty package whose popularity was pure luck. Lara claimed that all of Canelo's accolades were not only undeserved, but also fleeting. For the charismatic Lara, Canelo wasn't even a worthy opponent. On July 12, 2014, both fighters stepped into the ring at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, to settle their score. Lara entered as the WBA Super Welterweight champion, though the title was not on the line. The agreed weight limit for the fight was 155 pounds, just 1 pound over the Super Welterweight limit. Judges Jerry Roth, Dave Moretti, and Levi Martinez were expected to critically assess the bout and name the rightful victor if neither fighter claimed victory within the 12 scheduled rounds. With Robert Byrd as the third man in the ring, this heated showdown between a trash talker and a titan began. The fight round 1. Lara tested Canelo's guard with his left hand, but the Mexican fighter stood his ground. Quickly, Canelo drove Lara out of the center of the ring, forcing him to retreat to the edge with the ropes behind him.
There's electricity in this building. I've been around for 35 years in boxing, and I know.
Like a predator stalking its prey, Canelo overpowered Lara, landing powerful body shots.
And that was the question, Paulie. Cuban fighter
So far, jabs only for one guy, and that's Lara.
Shields made the point that it will be so much more difficult for Canelo.
By the end of this first round, Lara had done little more than circle the ring's perimeter, avoiding a direct confrontation with Canelo. Round 2. Once again, the fighters met at the center of the ring, and Lara tested Canelo's guard before being driven back, with the ropes behind him.
Canelo said that, Lara's defense is basically his movement. That's really true.
At this point, Canelo had taken full control of the fight's pace, cautiously attacking Lara's body with short combinations.
Sniper like right through the guard. Or left, I should say, from the southpaw.
With less than a minute left in the round, Lara attempted a counterattack but grabbed Canelo by the neck, prompting Canelo to lift him with brute strength, showcasing that their rivalry had crossed into personal territory.
The Mexican superstar.
And he's better off trying to get to the body first, and Lara will not be an easy target to the head at the beginning of the fight.
Round 3. Lara seemed to have forgotten all his pre-fight promises about what he'd do to Canelo in the ring. Although he continued testing Canelo's guard with his left, his punches were weak, barely more than a touch compared to the powerful hits he received in return. His only defense was lateral movement and the occasional clinch.
Set of opposition. No different tonight.
Which we know would be one of his biggest attributes in this fight.
Near the final minute of the round, during one of these clinches, the fighters collided, nearly recreating the earlier lifting incident. After that, Lara continued evading Canelo's power. Round 4, Canelo maintained his dominance in the 4th round. Despite his bold pre-fight statements, Lara seemed desperate to avoid any close exchanges. Between sidesteps, strides, and jumps, the Cuban found himself in a survival battle rather than a fight for victory. Meanwhile, Canelo stayed close, trying to trap him in the corners. However, Lara's agility and speed allowed him to slip away most of the time.
He was trying to plod forward earlier, but now he's actually making an effort to get these hands off.
Canelo works the...
Even if he gives around the way, it seems like Lara's okay.
Round 5, Canelo opened the 5th round with a powerful right that sent Lara back to the ropes. Canelo kept attacking his body aggressively while Lara continued to retreat. Occasionally, they came face to face just long enough to exchange a few punches. Lara's reluctance to engage in the fight made the bout start to feel monotonous and linear.
On that hook.
Lara. Find Lara, left hook to the body, there's the body. Canelo known for having better combinations than
Round 6. Lara's only apparent reason for reaching the halfway point of the scheduled rounds was his escape plan, executed since the first moment. With Canelo eager to confront him, Lara seemed more afraid of staying still than he was of landing a punch or two. When his lateral movements failed to help him escape, he would clinch, relying on referee Bird to separate them and create distance.
But the things he said kind of put it over the top.
There's the...
And sometimes he loses that patience, and his age shows sometimes a lack of maturity.
Saw what Canelo did there.
If his intention was to wear Canelo down before launching an attack, it wasn't working. As the round drew to a close, Canelo increased his offensive intensity, delivering powerful shots that even Lara's clinching couldn't prevent.
A non-title affair again. Contract whittled at the fact that Canelo wanted it by Canelo. And now Canelo just going to work on the bodies. He finally grabs a hold of Erislandy Lara.
To try to work despite the smothered attempt by Lara.
Round 7. A growing sense spread through the crowd that this fight could have ended sooner if both fighters were willing to engage. However, Canelo was becoming more assertive, landing a greater number of punches. 6 rounds of following Lara had helped Canelo predict many of his opponent's movements and evasive spins. With the tension building, Lara even began reacting to Canelo's feints.
More punches than Lara. He probably wanted to be a little more active.
Have Lara ahead 4 rounds to 2. Judges have to differentiate between aggressiveness and ineffective.
Right there, Canelo was in punching range. He watched Lara and he didn't get off.
There's a double left hook to the body.
We haven't seen is the double left hook from Canelo. He's been able to get the one.
8th round entering the second half of the fight, Lara kept moving around, trying to create distance between himself and Canelo. Canelo started to stretch out his left hand, aiming to position Lara just right for a clean attack, but the Cuban continued to slip away.
A lot of punches are throwing him with conviction.
How much do you attribute that to the cut?
Well, it could be the body work.
The ring is the very active Lara. There's a combination momentarily on the ropes, walking him down, misses with that lead left.
9th round. The 9th round marked the beginning of the end, at least in terms of the scheduled rounds. Canelo was dominating Erislandy with ease, even though he couldn't quite corner him completely. Lara attempted to exchange a few punches, but realizing that Canelo was standing firm, he resumed his retreat. Finally, with just under a minute left, Canelo managed to trap Erislandy in a corner. Although brief, he landed solid power punches to the body. Lara, who was more nervous than ever, slipped to the canvas while trying to escape to the side. The audience went wild, but Bird didn't count it. Even so, the awkward Cuban's stumble while fleeing only confirmed his reputation as a coward.
And you have to acknowledge they will be partisan for you, but he's doing some good work.
Beautiful combination.
He's got to do that catch and shoot again. He's got it there. He did it there.
Body work by Canelo has certainly swung the fight back in his favor. Long slip there. That was a slip.
10th round. After his stumble, there was no turning back for Erislandy. By now, the judges' scorecards were sure to reflect his weak performance, and tripping while trying to flee didn't help his case. Interestingly, he didn't even try to change the course of the fight. He continued forcing Canelo to chase him without taking the initiative to attack. And when Canelo got close, clinching remained his fallback strategy. 11th round. Only 6 minutes remained in the fight, yet Lara still hadn't fulfilled any of his promises about teaching Canelo a lesson, as he'd claimed in the pre-fight press conferences. An unofficial scorecard was shown, surprisingly placing Erislandy ahead by 2 points, despite never having taken control of the fight in the ring. Perhaps his champion status was in his favor. Lara aimed to prove that Canelo couldn't hurt him seriously, so he kept retreating. Yet boxing is an unpredictable art, and the outcome was still undecided.
Well, I'd say an important number.
Lara working the body again, but there another combination upstairs by Lara.
This round.
12th round, both fighters entered the final round maintaining the same approaches they had followed throughout the fight. Canelo was the clear aggressor, often putting Erislandy in difficult positions. Lara continued slipping away along the sides, occasionally throwing 1 or 2 punches just to prove he was still there. What was supposed to be the fall of a titan had turned into the downfall of a loudmouth, and it was almost time to confirm which fighter would take on which role.
Closely contested fight, but the crowd reacting to everything. A very effective fight and utilizing that footwork, and our unofficial scorer, Canelo footwork, scoring when necessary. And we are going to the judges' scorecards. Canelo and Lara go the distance.
Judges' decision. When the fight ended, Erislandy celebrated as if he'd truly been in a battle. To him, surviving 12 rounds without being knocked down was a guaranteed victory on the judges' scorecards. Generally, proving that a challenger isn't strong or skilled enough to hurt a champion is enough to retain a title. But the Cuban had forgotten something crucial. His title wasn't on the line. His champion status didn't matter outside his own mind. So, when the announcer took center ring, Lara had no choice but to bite his tongue. Saul Canelo Alvarez was declared the winner by split decision, and the look on the loudmouth's face, who had already been celebrating, was priceless. In the post-fight interview, Canelo delivered the ultimate lesson to Erislandy, reminding him that you enter the ring to fight, not to run a marathon. Conclusion: if you've made it this far, thank you. Remember, the best way to support my content is by leaving a like on the videos. Do you agree with the judge's decision in this fight, or do you believe Erislandy Lara deserved the win? Let me know in the comments.